In this video, we're going to talk about speed. Over my experience working with several startups and businesses, the one thing that they always ask for is speed. They always have a need for speed. Each one of them wants to get their project done with as quickly as possible. They want to ship their product as quickly as possible, and they push for speed, speed, speed. Now, over the years, over like 2 decades of working with such startups and founders and businesses, I've come to see a pattern of the different types of speed. And I've seen 3 patterns. And only one of them is true speed. The other 2 are just an illusion of speed, because over time you find out that everything just crumbles. The first kind of speed is the speed that just wants to see something shown. This is where business executives and leaders and founders push their team so hard that they want to see something. Now, this forces the developers to start cutting corners and just focus on the front end more than anything else. So they show leadership, or they show the founders, this is what we've built. They can see it. This is the web page. This is the app. You can see it. You can interact with it. But very little is done on the back end. The second type of speed is speed that focuses on getting something out there that works. How soon can we put this solution together? How soon can we put this product together and have it in the hands of our users? It sounds like a very good thing to do, but when you scratch, beneath the surface, you find out that this is the most deceptive of the types of speed. Because it gives you the illusion that you're actually doing something. You're not just building the front end, you're building a product that works. Not just that, you're putting it in the hands of your users. But later you'll see why this is a very deceptive kind of speed. The third kind of speed is speed at which the product or the company or the startup is able to respond to market changes. How fast can we modify our product to match what the market wants, to match what our users are asking for? How fast can we modify our product to correct an assumption we had, a wrong assumption we had? That kind of speed is not easy to achieve, mainly because achieving it is counterintuitive to what you will do when you want to claim that you are moving fast. So this is the true kind of speed, and it is rarely achieved. And the reason for that is, for you to achieve this kind of speed where you're able to respond quickly to changes in the market, you need to do a lot of planning, you need to do a lot of design at the start. You need to plan for this phase. And typically, if you do this, you find out that you won't be able to create those user interfaces right away. You won't be able to just cobble up something and put it in the hands of users, because you know that if any change comes in, it's going to break the whole system. Right? So these are the 3 kinds of speed I have seen. But as you've guessed, the first 2 are the ones that usually are being pushed for and are achieved all the time. The first one doesn't really last long, because how long can you just keep on showing a user interface? After a while, everybody knows that, okay, this product is not working and it's not worth it. But the second one is the most elusive. Developers feel they've shipped a product. Management or founders feel that they have their product in the hands of users and it's being used, until something breaks, or you find out that your assumption about the market or the problem is wrong, or users are pushing for a particular kind of feature that you don't have yet or isn't working well. Only then would you find out that it's going to take you a very long time to introduce that fix or add that feature that the market wants, effectively slowing you down. And if you have a competitor that went with the third kind of speed, then they will respond quicker to the market and changes. But remember, achieving that kind of speed is counterintuitive at the start because it kind of slows you down initially. So back to the second kind of speed. That's the reason why it's so elusive. It's quite relatively easy to achieve when compared to the third one, but it makes it very hard for you to make changes because everything is just tightly integrated. You cannot make a single change without breaking down the whole product. So, which kind of speed do you think is the best to achieve? It's very easy for you to answer to say the third type. But the third type of speed is not easy to achieve. Even though it's the best, it's not easy. And in some cases, it may not even be the best thing for you to go for. Because you need to ask yourself, when you're building a product, when you're building an MVP, what type are you building? What's your primary goal? Is it to put something in the hands of users and get feedback? If that is the case, then yes, go for the second kind of speed, because that allows you to just put something together, even though it's tightly knit, but you put it in the hands of users and you get feedback. Knowing that for you to build a product that's going to be sustainable, that would last long, you need to really plan and build that product out properly so that you can achieve the third kind of speed that allows you to respond quicker to market changes. Because if you don't, and you just push what you have as your MVP, your quick fix that has this tightly knit set of features, then over time, you're going to be outrun by the market because you won't be able to respond in time. Now, the first kind of speed has become even more attractive to startups and founders because of AI and vibe coding. Vibe coding allows you to just quickly create something. You see it, it looks visually appealing, it looks good. In fact, you can just click a button and it gets deployed. But then you end up in a situation like the second kind of speed. You build something quickly, but you cannot easily maintain that product over time. And vibe coding is still new, so wait to see over time to see how it pans out. But I think it's going to end up in a situation whereby it's going to be very hard to maintain any code that was vibe coded. Either you need another engineer to come and look at it, make the changes, or you have to go back and forth with the AI to make those changes. But I think as the product grows, it's going to be harder and harder for AI to really understand your context and get it to work properly. But that's something we would see. But if you're building second scenario, if you're building your MVP because you want to lay the foundation for a product to be used over a long period of time and base a startup off of that, then you need to aim for the third kind of speed. Speed where you're able to respond quickly to the market. But you can't achieve that easily. You need to do things that are counterintuitive when you're starting your development. You need to spend time to understand what the problem is. You need to spend time to develop a very good architecture for your system. You have to build it in such a way that it can change, modules can be moved around and removed without crumbling the whole system. In fact, your product has to come out as a byproduct of stringing certain modules together and putting it in the hands of users. And when you find out that that particular setup doesn't work, or users are asking for a new feature, you can easily take it back, untangle those, disconnect those modules, and reconnect them in a different way. All of this is done in code, right? Or even add new features. It's easier for you to do that. I have an article on short-term speed, long-term pain, which talks about this particular phenomenon. You can go and read it. I'll add a link at the bottom. My team and I are working on a product called Intentional, which is aimed at entrepreneurs and founders. And the goal is to help you identify relationships and nurture relationships better. It's very easy to meet people, make connections, but it's harder for you to nurture those relationships and follow up and get the benefits of relationships in your startup or your business. And this tool lets you to put in your contacts. It lets you log your interactions that you have with contacts and which channels you're having those interactions on. And an AI assistant in there looks at everything you've logged and it gives you suggestions on when and who and what to say. So more or less, it's like having a team that's working behind the scenes, trying to help you nurture your relationships better. You can check it out on the link I'll add below, and we have a wait list which you can sign up for, and we're almost done with the first version of the product, and we'll be releasing it and you'll be the first to know. If you found any value out of this, please subscribe. You can like and add a comment if you have any other thing to add to this discussion. Thank you.